got them on the market. They're supposed to tone you up and degenerate you.
What, to make it up young and lovely?
Go on, I know they haven't worked here to get me money back. Oh, Stanley, your idea of a joke didn't amuse me 30 years since, and it doesn't amuse me now. No, it's me vibrations. They seem to have got very powerful lately.
It'll be them heavy lorries taking the shortcut down Viaduct Street, you know.
Me supernatural vibrations. Here, give us your mug.
No, I've had enough.
I want to read your tea leaves.
You can't tell out from that.
Now, didn't I predict our Trevor's last would be a girl?
That wasn't a prediction. That was an evens bet, wasn't it?
Ah, well, they've told me when to expect trouble, though, haven't they?
I'll tell you when to expect trouble for us. Every flaming day. All right, go on, Gypsy Rose Ogden. Tell me future. If it's bad, I don't want to hear it.
Oh. Oh, aye.
I know. I'm going to fall off my ladder and break my leg. Hammer?
There's trouble at work. Definitely.
Trouble at work? Look, I was only joking when I said about falling off my ladder, you know.
Oh, not trouble at you at work. Mine, it's my cup I'm reading.
Oh, that's all right then, isn't it?
Oh, I suppose it doesn't matter if I break my leg then. Come on, let's have a look at yours. According to this, you haven't even got a future.
Eh?
Well, you've swigged everything, haven't you? Tea leaves and all. Any road, I thought you didn't believe in me powers.
I don't.
Trouble at work. Ooh, now, I wonder what that can be.
Annie Walker's going to trip over your bucket, and everybody's going to see next week's washing.
Like I said, Stan, whatever it was I married you for, it certainly wasn't your sense of humour.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm a bit of a comic. They all say so, you know.
Oh, it's very kind of you to phone, Derek. Oh, no, I didn't get much sleep last night. She had me up about 4 times. Oh, no, I can cope. No, I've spoken to Rita and she says I don't need to go in today. She can manage. No, she can be very understanding when she wants. I'm lucky in that respect. Oh, yes, that would be nice if you're sure you can manage it. About 11. Yes, that'll be fine. Oh, I think I'll be in need of a bit of cheerful company by that time. I'm coming, Auntie. Look, Derek, I'll have to go, so I'll see you later, eh? No, I don't need anything. Bye. Oh.
Where did it go from?
Flipping sewing basket, would you believe?
She kept 45 quid in a sewing basket. Why? What's wrong with bank?
Don't ask me. She always kept cash in there. She had a funny selection of hiding places. Some do.
Well, I don't. Mind you, I never have any brass to hide. Did she actually accuse Betty of taking it? You know, straight out?
No, sort of implied, you know.
Yeah, Betty got the message and took the oath. Well, I don't blame her. Mind you, if I'd have been here, she'd have accused me, and I'd have wiped the flipping floor with her.
Yeah, I know you would. Anyway, I'm not so worried about Betty, at least. Well, at least she has got another job.
Yeah, but it's only temporary till she gets back from looking after a poorly mum. Where's Madam now?
She's in, Kit. She's wearing that "what have I done to deserve this" expression of hers.
Ah, well, let her suffer. She's asked for it.
You know, Bet, there's a vicious streak in you. It's a streak I don't like to see in a young girl.
Well, we could always tell her Betty's Aunt Dole. I mean, that'd cheer her up.
Yeah, we could, but we won't, will we?
You know, Fred, there's a nasty, vicious streak in you. I don't care to see in a young lad.
Bet.
No, she's a right jammy devil, is that Renee?
What with the mother being poorly? How do you make that out?
Oh, no, having you on standby, as it were, to help her out.
Aye, when she had flu, she had me on standby and all.
Oh, well, she needed me and I needed a job, so we've done one another a good turn, really.
Yeah, I hear you dashed out of the Rovers in a right tiz was the other night. Not that I know any detail.
You won't neither, because she's saying no.
It's a personal matter between me and Mrs. Walker, and I prefer to keep it that way.
Oh, love, it's not to do with me. I'm not surprised that you've had a row with her. All I'm surprised at is that you didn't have a row with her every day or every year that you worked there. Give us a bottle of vinegar, will you?
She's got a very placid temperament, as our Betty.
Yeah, most of the time. But there are some things, you know, that even a placid person like me can't tolerate. Large or small?
Eh? Oh, large.
Right.
You know, since them girls have been staying with me, I think we've got about 3 chip hands. Small bottle and go nowhere.
Anyway, love, keep smiling. Whatever it is, it's not worth letting it get you down.
I won't, believe me. If anybody's going to get herself down, it's going to be Mrs. Walker.
And my Stan was stood here.
Large as life and playing darts with Len. True or false, Fred?
True.
And he never mentioned a word to me, nor a dicky bird.
I shouldn't chastise him too much, Hilda. We can all slip up, you know. He might have got carried away by the other bit of excitement we've had round here. Bet she were wearing a see-through blouse.
So what's new? If they're not see-through, they're practically non-existent. Oh, no, I'm not going to chastise Stanley. No, not a bit of it.
Now, I know I'm as thick as two short planks, Hilda, but have I got this right? We're telling you that Betty doesn't work here anymore on account of her having a blazing row with Annie Walker. And you're telling us that you please your Stan forgot to mention it to you.
Yeah, because it proves that my prediction were based on me ESP and not on him gossiping.
Prediction? What prediction?
ESP?
Extra-sensitive perception. I've been reading up about it. It's about these folk what have a knack of tuning in to the future. You know, foretelling what's going to happen.
And you're one of them?
That's right. I were reading my teacup this morning and it said trouble at work. I come in here and what do I find?
Trouble at work. By gum, Fred. Doesn't it frighten the pants off you, having somebody like Hilda around the place? Just think, you've only got to do something wicked. She'll read her tea leaves and she'll know all about it.
We're going to have to do a hell of a lot of brewing up.
You sure I can't get you a bite of something? A sandwich?
Oh, no thanks, Mavis. I do have a lunch date, as a matter of fact. With a client, Mr. Simpson. He does a lot of business with us.
Oh, you lead a very different life from me, don't you, Derek? I've heard all about these expense account lunches.
Don't misunderstand me. We'll not be whining and dining. No, this'll just be a pork pie and a shandy at his local while we go over his new ordering system.
But you are out in the world, meeting people. Ooh, sometimes I feel like I'm in a prison.
Do you enjoy your job at the cabin?
Yes, most of the time, but that can get very boring. I mean, you do see the same old faces over and over again.
Like mine?
Oh, no, I'm very pleased to see you. You're a friend.
I hope so.
Oh, I'm sorry moaning on like this. I suppose it's with having to come back here to Auntie Edith's.
It's understandable you should feel a bit low.
Trapped is the word I'd use. Just when I got used to having a place of my own.
Or maybe she'll buck up soon and you can get back to the flat. It may only be for a week or so.
Can you see it? I can't. Not in a million years. I'm coming, Auntie Edie.
I did try to stagger down before. The spirit was good, the flesh was weak. Hello there.
What's up with her? Oh, she's had a bit of a tiff with Betty Turpin about what I don't know. It's a state secret.
Yeah, that was my impression. Hey, does she know Betty's...
Look, would you do me a favour? Nobody mention that Betty's got a job at Corner Shop.
Just how long do you expect to keep that news out the headlines?
Well, just for the next few minutes, they'll do. Oh, Mrs. Walker, you know that shopping that you asked Fred to tell me to get?
Actually, I want two more things.
Well, actually, I haven't been.
Oh, dear, we haven't been all that busy. And completely without bread.
Well, I would have gone, Mrs. Walker, but it was you I was thinking about. What's the best thing to get rid of a splitting headache? What's kept her in bed all morning, I asked myself. A nice little walk in the fresh air, I told myself, just as far as the Corner Shop and back.
She's right there, Mrs. Walker. Nice little walk in the fresh air. Bring roses to your cheeks.
Oh, well, you may be right. I certainly need a tonic of some kind. Get my handbag.
She'll go spare
It'll
when
be
she
the
sees.
tonic she badly needs, Fred.
What are you up to, Betty Lynch?
Me, Mrs. Sharp?
Yes, you. You're as bad as these two here.
We're little angels, Mrs. Sharples. We're just misunderstood, that's all.
Won't be long.
Do you know, I bet you're feeling as right as rain by the time you get back.
Does she know Betty's working over there?
I've no idea. Does she, Fred?
Search me.
I'd love to see her face when she finds out.
Me too.
Good morning, Mrs. Walker. Well, this is a surprise. Huh? Not surprised, just surprised. Did nobody tell you that I was working here? No, they didn't. What can I get for you? Well, I've got a list here. And I'd like a small brown sliced loaf, which I'll take with me, please. When do you want this? Well, ask Greenie to let me have him about 4 o'clock, will you? She's not here.
Oh.
Yes, she's away for 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, her mother, of course. So you're just standing in for her, yes?
Temporary.
Oh, yes, but she's left me in complete charge. It's what you might call a position of trust. Thank you.
How do? Where's Stan?
I've got to keep him warm in the oven. He'll turn up when he feels like it. Reliability never was his strong point.
Yeah, well, you never let it get you down, do you, Mrs. O?
Well, a lot of things get me down, Eddie, but you have to try not to show it. You know, you have to learn to put a face on in this life. Go on, you can have 1 chip and that's your lot.
Same as me, you know, Mrs. O. Just because I've always got a smile on my face, nobody ever thinks I get depressed.
And do you?
Of course I do, just like anybody else.
What about?
Well, the same things as anybody else. No money, not much cop at anything. And where am I going?
Here, suck that up.
Hey?
Go on, unless you don't like drinking after me.
Oh, I don't mind, sir, very much.
Now then, you wanted to know where you was going. I'm going to tell you. Now, I'm not making no exaggerated claims. I mean, I can't predict your whole future for the rest of your life.
I don't think I want you to.
No, but I do have this gift, as I showed to certain folk only this morning. Now, let's see what we've got here.
Is Joanna Lumley coming into me life then, like tomorrow?
Amazing. I can see it clear as clear.
What?
6.
Well, healthy young lad like me, you know.
Oh, I said 6, not sex. Your lucky number, 6. There, can't you see?
Oh, and the froth in the bottom?
Yeah.
Hey, that's 6, definitely. Hey, hang on, how do you know it's my lucky number and not my unlucky number?
There's certain questions you don't ask. Now, either you trust my instinct or you don't.
Ah, well, it's best to look on the bright side, isn't it? I don't have to cross your palm with silver, do I?
Don't mock at things you don't understand, Eddie Yates.
Sorry.
Hello, Edie, love, how are you? Are you feeling any better?
Hello, Ethel. I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm still off my food, though.
Oh, there's nothing worse, is there? Well, what's Mavis been tempting you with?
Sardines on toast.
Sardines? Nay, you'd be better with a bit of fresh fish. Nice piece of hake, steamed or poached or something. Now, you know she would, Mavis.
Well, as a matter of fact, I wanted to get to
You know, we can't have you lying here an invalid, Auntie Edie. Well, I brought you some grapes and a bottle of lemon barley I made myself. Maybe that'll improve your appetite. Well, I know it does mine.
She's not been eating badly. She had a very good tea yesterday, didn't you? She had the boiled egg followed by bananas and custard.
Yes, but I had to force myself, Mavis. And I wish I hadn't. I've still got heartburn from those bananas.
Bananas? Oh, they lie very heavy when you're in bed. I thought you'd have known that, Mavis. Very indigestible. No, you want something nice and light, like a rice pudding. Now, you should know that, Mavis. Can you make her a rice pudding this evening? And I'll bring her a little bit of plaice or hake or something. You can cook fish, can you, Mavis?
Of course I can cook fish.
Oh, you are good to me, Ethel. Really, you are.
Oh, well, I like to do my best, you know. Can I have one of your grapes?
Help yourself. I'll try one, too.
Bet, I have some questions to ask you, and I want straight answers.
What other kind would I give you, Mrs. Walker?
You are aware that during your absence there was some misunderstanding between Elizabeth and myself.
Fred said.
And you know that, as a result, she walked out, leaving me completely in the lurch.
Yes, I know that as well.
You must also be aware that she is working at the corner shop.
Of course I knew.
Then why didn't you tell me?
Because you'd been upstairs in bed all morning.
Concerned about Elizabeth, wondering how she was going to manage for one thing. It now transpires I could have been saved all that heartache, that embarrassment.
Mrs. Walker, you never asked me about Betty. In fact, you never so much as mentioned her name to me. And how am I supposed to know that you're suffering from a guilty conscience?
One of these days, Miss Lynch, you will go too far. I mean that.
But not while you're short of staff, cock.
Now, where the flipping heck have you been? I've got soggy fish and chips in the oven on a low light.
Betting shop. A little bedridden old lady on the round wanted 10p an horse. I couldn't refuse, could I?
Do you know there must be more bedridden little old ladies on your round than there is in the old folks' home?
Hey, Stan, did you happen to notice what won the 130?
Happy Daffodil. I saw it on telly. Number 6.
Fancy that. Number what?
6.
6?
6. You did say 6, didn't you, Stan?
6.
He did say 6.
Is this double act significant? I'm getting confused.
Oh, very. Now what have you got to say?
Something not fit for human ears. Well, not fit for female human ears anyway. I didn't have a penny on it.
What's the matter? Didn't you have inside information or something?
Only the best. Your Hilda practically spelt it out. Hey, Stan, she really has got a gift, you know.
What gift?
I'm a clairvoyant.
Ah.
No, Mrs. Sharpless.
A clairvoyant?
Yeah.
Oh, well, could you tell my future and mine and Gail's? Because if you see us lolling under palm trees with some monkey dropping coconuts on our heads, we'll know where we're going for our holidays.
South Sea Islands.
No, Bellevue Zoo.
Yeah, I'll be happy to drop round any time. I mean, when you've got a gift like mine, you can't be selfish with it.
Well, it's something I'm not in agreement with, messing about with the devil in his works. No good will come of it.
Now, listen, Duchess, if I'd have backed Happy Daffodil at 40 to 1, a lot of good would have come from it, including 3 milk stouts for you, first off. Would you have said no if I'd have offered you a drink out my winnings?
No. But then I wouldn't say no if you offered me a drink not out of your winnings.
Oh, marvellous, innit? Some folks just don't need the blooming supernatural. Fred.
I know. Milk stout for Mrs. Sharples.
A milk stout for Mrs. Sharples.
It was very good of you to come back, Derek. Did your meeting with Mr. Simpson go well?
Oh, more or less. I had a Scotch egg. He didn't recommend the pork pies, no. But you don't look too full of the joys, Mavis, if you don't mind my saying so. In fact, a marked deterioration since this morning.
I'm not the patient. You talk as if I were the patient, Derek.
No, we don't want you being the patient, do we?
No.
How's your auntie this afternoon?
Oh, she's worse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't mean like that. No, she's had a very good dinner. It's just her and Cousin Ethel.
Ethel's here.
Oh, yes, she came about dinner time and she's been fussing around and ordering me about ever since. They both have been up and down stairs. Oh, talk about Cinderella, and she gets all the thanks. Then there was the fillets of place.
Fillets of place?
Yeah, for a tea. Well, really, she wanted them for a dinner, but she didn't want me to go out. You see, well, I can't be in 2 places at once, can I, Derek?
No, of course you can't, Mavis.
Then the doctor came about 2 o'clock, and, well, he said there's nothing seriously wrong with her. I mean, not more than you'd expect in somebody of her age.
Isn't that what I said? You know what I think, Mavis? I think she's having you on. She doesn't need a full-time nurse at all. A full-time mug, perhaps. It was all a ruse to get you to come back here. Emotional blackmail. And she knows you're soft enough to give in to it.
Well, I've just got a conscience about it. I mean, I did walk off and leave her. I did upset her.
Yeah, but she upset you first. Anyway, the question is, what are you going to do?
What can I do? I shall have to stay here, shan't I? I mean, if I walk off and leave her again and she gets really ill, I'll never forgive myself. Oh, Derek, I'm trapped.
Oh. Well, I'm off now. Oh, you're here, are you?
Yes, and a good thing, too, from Mavis's point of view, anyhow.
Well, I don't know what Mavis has to grumble at. It's poor Auntie Edie I'm sorry for, suffering so bravely up there. Now, don't you forget that rice pudding, Mavis, and make it with top of the milk. That's Royal Dalton, that is. Worth quite a bit, I should wonder. You know, there's 1 or 2 nice pieces round here that'd fetch a bob or 2. Oh, and Mavis, Auntie wants some fresh bread for her breakfast. And don't let visitors eat all the grapes I brought her.
You see, I'm trapped.
What's all this made of?
Well, I've told you. I've watched you making mistake after mistake. I've seen you wasting yourself on fellas that even half it would have told you were wrong for you.
Oh, it's lecture time, is it?
Yes. What is this marriage that you've just chucked away? Your 3rd? Where do you go from here?
You know, Mrs. Sharples, that's a question I've often asked myself, and I never seem to get any sensible answers.
No, you never will get any sensible answers until you start behaving sensibly. It's high time you started. Are you very upset?
About Ellen? No, the pain was a long time ago, when we first split up. Now all we're going through is just formalities.
You're on your own again?
Yeah. You know, come to think of it, Mrs. Sharples, I've always been on my own, nearly all my life, even when I was married.
It's the loneliest state to be in, with a fella you don't get on with.
You seem to know all about it.
Do I?
Yeah, I mean, speaking personally, I always thought you had the perfect marriage.
Well, you're a bigger fool than I thought you were if you imagined there was such a thing.
Were you happy?
Well, we tried to be happy, and that's more than they do today. The first sign of trouble and they walk out. Oh, it wasn't a bad marriage, but perfect.
Well, it should have been. You always seem to know all the answers.
Oh, I just crack on, I do. It gives me the right to put my nose in.
Like you're doing now.
In a way. Because for all your foolhardiness, there's an awful lot to you. You have an awful lot to offer, and I don't want to see it wasted.
That makes two of us. But I tell you something, Mrs. Sharples. I'm not going to fall into the arms of the first eligible man who asks me just for the sake of security. I've had enough of that. No, I'd rather be on my own and peaceful.
Like me.
I could do a lot worse.
Hang on a minute, love. Mrs. Walker, fuzz for you. Oh, Detective Constable Burton knows me, don't you, Chuck? He knows I'd love 6 months in strange ways.
You know, you do a lot for the crime rate. We'd have all the villains battering at the gates trying to get in.
Smooth talker.
Yes, Ben.
He wants you.
Mrs. Walker. It's about some money which I understand could have come from here.
Money? I haven't reported any money.
No, I know, but has some been taken? Like £45? Mrs. Walker?
Oh, I didn't want it to get out. I really didn't. Yes, it was.
Well, why didn't you report it?
Well, because I suspected that a personal friend was involved.
A personal friend? That young lad?
Lad? What lad?
Gary Hankins. Works as a painter for the brewery. He did some decorating here a few weeks back.
He took it, that boy?
Yeah, he's been nicking right, left and centre everywhere he worked. We caught him for some other jobs and he admitted to this one while he was at it.
But how? He wasn't even working here at the time.
A crafty little beggar says he made an impression of your key while he was here, came back one night and Bob's your uncle. Anyway, we've got him now. But you definitely should have reported this, you know.
Oh, dear. So she really didn't. What on earth have I done?
All right, Stan. Oh, hello. Are you coming in? Yeah.
What are you doing back here?
Oh, isn't it marvellous? Welcome on the mat.
Well, the door's not been shut behind you 5 minutes.
You said you want to be home early for dinner.
Early?
Yeah, well, I started up on Argyle Street, you know. I didn't know how long it would take there.
You can't have done more than one house.
It's taken all morning to get there and get back here.
Oh, for goodness sake, Stanley.
What are you going to do to make them happy?
I'm not standing between a man and his wife, Stanley.
Well, I'm not needed here, I can see that.
Well, look, you can make yourselves a pot of tea and some jam butties or something. I've not been able to go shopping yet or anything.
That do you?
Cup of tea's all right by me.
Right.
I hope we didn't ask you in for some dinner.
No, we just dropped into conversation about not having the price of a pint between us, you know what I mean? You'll be all right, won't you, with your fortune selling?
Oh, I'm not going to make no profit out of that. No, just a small contribution towards the refreshments, that's all. I mean, the gift's not given to them who seek to profit by it.
You want your head testing, Mrs. O. It's a guaranteed meal ticket, like a doctor. I mean, you see, they've got the gift of healing. If you've got a gift, you ought to use it for the good of the most number of people, just like a doctor. So there's nothing wrong with doing it for money.
Well, I won't say you're wrong, Eddie, but needs a lot of thought.
No jam. Marmalade do?
Smashing.
Oh, use your eyes, Stan. There's jam in the bottom cupboard.
Jam it is.
Very deep thought. Oh, mind you, you've said some very wise words, I know.
Well, best shape, Mrs. Walker. Well, that first of them in no time.
What am I to do, Fred? Silly woman's gone off. What am I to do?
Well, the first thing's obvious, isn't it? Mrs. Sharples.
I want my money back on them.
Right.
Good morning, Mr. Sharples.
And I credited you with more sense, Honey Walker.
I see. Then can I say, before you go on, valuable as your comments sometimes are, if you'll mind your business, then I'll mind mine.
Thank you, Mrs. Sharples. Right, I'll get down and finish off in cellar, Mrs. Walker.
Right, and if you're trying to be diplomatic, you needn't bother, because I'm not stopping to stay out.
I'm going whether you're stopping or not, Mrs. Sharples.
Not my place to stay out. Besides, what's never said never needs mending. But I don't need to tell you that, do I? Because you've a lot of mending to do. If I were you, I'd take a walk down and see Betty Turpin.
I don't need telling anything by you, Mrs. Sharples, because you know nothing about it. So if you don't mind...
But I do mind. When I see a woman that I've known for years, as honest as the day's long, and a policeman's widow too, called a thief all over town, of course I mind.
This is a matter strictly between Mrs. Turpin and myself. But for your information, I never called her a thief.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. And when you say it's all over Weatherfield, well, that's just absolutely absurd.
Is it? Well, it's got as far as the laughing donkey. And the tale there gets to be slightly different. Such as, I've had to sack the barmaid because she's dipping into the till.
Who said that?
It's common talk.
Mrs. Sharples, I want to know, who did you hear that from?
I don't think that matters. It's who did they hear it from?
Now, if you know, you tell me, who did they hear it from?
You.
Don't be ridiculous.
Then what did you say to Nellie Harvey? Tell me that. Because that's where they got it from. Can you deny it? You want to get back on the telephone to your friend, unless you go and grovel to Betty Turpin first.
Nice morning.
Yes.
Well, I mustn't mind, must I, Derek? She's my family's.
As long as you make sure you can still, you know, lead your own life.
Well, I can't. I can't just do as I like. Be realistic about it.
There's no reason why you shouldn't get out. In fact, there's every reason you should.
Oh, it's easier said than done, Derek.
People get babysitters.
She's not a baby.
You know what I mean. You can get someone to come in.
Who?
Well, just someone to keep her company.
There's more to it, Derek. I mean, it's a very different thing with a sick old lady, especially if she has one of her turns.
If she decides to have one of her turns, you mean? There's a lot of that in
Oh,
it.
now, that's not entirely fair. I mean, she is frail. Even the doctor agrees with that.
She's been frail for years. She's still here.
Yes, and I'm still here. Just when I got used to the idea of having a life of my own. Do you know, sometimes I think people are destined.
I don't believe that.
Well, I do. I know. I mean, well, I know this much. If you've got no place of your own, then you've got no life of your own.
No, it just takes more... You've got to make more of an effort, that's all.
The only effort I've got to make is just to stop feeling sorry for myself. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm here and I've got to stay here, and that's that.
No, listen, Mary, I've just got a piece of advice.
No,
One
don't
piece.
go
No,
on,
I'm only...
please, Derek. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
No, I am.
I didn't realise we had company.
Oh, yes, I'm here again, Mrs.
So I see.
Can I give you a hand?
Look, I thought you weren't supposed to come down those stairs on your own.
Well, there was nobody to give me any assistance, was there?
Well, I didn't hear you call or anything.
I can't very well shout, can I? And if you're busy talking, there's nobody to hear, is there?
Well, come and sit yourself down.
Oh, it's three of us eating, is it?
Yes, Mavis did invite me to stop, Mrs. I hope you don't mind.
It's not for me to mind, is it? But you'll realise when you're old and not so well, your house isn't your own. Not that I mind. I'm past minding. What have you made?
Oh, just macaroni cheese.
Oh, that's very nice. Bit indigestible, though, isn't it? Cheese. Like those bananas.
Well, would you like me to make you something else?
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to be any trouble to you. And I'm sure this young man likes macaroni cheese, don't you?
Oh, I don't mind at all.
We'll have to get used to eating what he likes. Still, perhaps it wouldn't be too much... just a boiled egg wouldn't be too much trouble for you, would it? It's the last thing I want to be is trouble.
Anything else, love? No, just a slice loaf, love, please.
Right.
Are you going to order little do tonight, by any chance?
What do?
Have you heard? She's having a seance. Ever since she read them tea leaves, it's gone straight to her head.
Oh, that one. I don't see how I can. But I'm not too struck on all that kind of thing.
Oh, why not be good for a laugh at least?
Well, there you are, you see. I mean, that's the wrong attitude. If there is something in it, I mean, it's not to be taken lightly, you know.
Why not? Don't you think you've got a sense of humour over on the other side?
I must say I side with Elizabeth. If there are those in the spirit world who have something to communicate, you'd think they'd choose somebody better than Mrs. Ogden.
I never said there was anything wrong with Mrs. Ogden.
Well, hardly a spiritual person.
She's never done me any harm.
Yeah, well, I'll see you, kid.
Right, try Elsie.
I was wondering if you'd heard. I suppose you have.
What?
Well, I had a visit from the police.
Oh.
They have arrested one of the decorators from the brewery. It seems he's been stealing all over the place, including the Rovers.
It's of no great interest to me, Mrs. Walker.
I can't remember which one it was. Can't even remember what he looked like.
Is that all the news? Because, I mean, I have got things to do, you know.
Elizabeth, you must not go on under the misapprehension.
I'm under
no misapprehension, Mrs. Walker. None at all.
You are, if you continue to think that I harboured any suspicion about you.
You harboured nothing. You said it straight to my face.
Now, did I?
Well, you did in so many words. Well, nearly.
Never.
Look, I can't see any point in this at all.
Elizabeth, what I did do that was wrong, very wrong and very silly, was to give you that impression when it was the last thing I wanted to convey. And for that I want to apologise, deeply and sincerely.
Well, makes everything all right then, doesn't it?
I know that an apology is inadequate, but I do trust that mine will be accepted.
Yes, we can say that, Mrs. Walker. I just want it over and done with.
Well, I'm glad, because that means we feel the same way.
Yeah.
Let it all be dead and buried.
No, just done with.
I'd like that, Elizabeth. Oh, I'm sorry. Do serve this lady.
Yes, love.
Have you got a raspberry jelly?
Yes, I have.
But, Elizabeth, I do think if you could call in, we could perhaps clear the air over a sherry.
I'd just sooner leave it where it is, Mrs. Walker. There's some in the back, love. I'll get you one.
Now then, just draw your chairs evenly up round the table. That's right.
Oh, there's nowhere to put my knees.
Well, as long as you can lay your hands on the table, it doesn't matter.
What do we do now?
I'll tell you what you do. First thing, empty your mind.
Oh, not a big job.
Now, Luke, either you're serious about this or you're not. If you're
Oh,
not...
I'm sorry.
You see, your mind is full of day-to-day clutter. You'll get nothing through that. It's like when you get interference on the radio. So, you switch off, right?
Right.
Now, I'm like a radio what can tune in, but only in certain circumstances. I don't think it's easy, because if anybody's got a septic attitude, it sort of puts up an obstacle like. Now then, hands on the table. Very lightly, just touching. Just fingertip. Oh, no, don't hold her hand, Chuck.
Well, I'm frightened. What if somebody comes?
Well, it's quite natural to be frightened, but really there's no need. Now then, just touching. Right. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there wishes to speak to anybody here? Give a sign.
Who's that?
Stan going to the car, so we'll have to wait. Right, join hands. Start together.
Don't you climb down, love.
Well, she came round here to apologise in a row.
Oh, very big of her.
She told me she never said what I heard her say.
I never said.
Well, I know, Annie. She'll convince herself she never did, neither. And she'll absolutely believe it. Anyway, as long as she don't convince you.
Oh, she probably will in the long run.
You know, you'd want more than a flaming apology if you took it to law.
Well, I'm not doing that, am I?
No, I'm just saying if she'd said it publicly, you'd have her caned in court good and proper.
Oh.
Aye.
Hi, Fred.
Coming back to us then, are you?
Oh, what?
Well, I understand you made it up with Mrs. Walker.
I made nothing up.
Oh, sorry. I just got the impression from Mrs. Walker that, well,
Oh, did you?
you know, you linked your little fingers and that.
See? She thinks she's gone away already, vanished.
She lives in a world of her own, does that woman.
Of course, she's a grown woman. And she can do as she likes, of course, but... She goes away with him, you know.
She goes away where with him?
Well, how should I know where? She wouldn't tell me that, would she? But she goes away weekend.
Didn't go nowhere last weekend.
Oh, well, perhaps not every weekend, but, well, you can see what's on the cards, and if it isn't, well, she's being a fool for herself.
I can't say anything, can I? But I know what her mother would say.
Well, her mother isn't here to say it, is she? But you know our Mavis. Well, she always needed a guiding hand, our Mavis.
There'll be no shenanigans under my roof. I'll not stand for that, even if I am an invalid.
Oh, well, I'm sure she'd never dream.
We wish to speak to someone on the other side. Is there anybody there on the other side? Hey? We wish to communicate with someone on the other side.
What are you going to ask?
Ask for a name. What is your name on the other side?
What'd she say?
I didn't catch.
What is your name?
Arthur. She said Arthur. He said Arthur.
It can't be Arthur.
Why not?
Is your name Arthur?
I don't think it can be.
Arthur.
Hey, she said Arthur. Arthur, it might be a book writer what's passed on.
We don't know any book writers round here.
You can get anything. Red Indians or anything. Elsie, ask a question.
You ask it.
Well, has nobody got a question to ask?
My name is Arafah. You have disturbed me. Why? You are not earnest in your heart. Nobody here wishes to speak to you.
Not even me mum.
Who did that?
It wasn't me.
Oh, come on.
Hilda.
Put light on.
Hilda, come on, Hilda.
Come on, Hilda, love, snap out of
Hilda,
it.
don't look about.
She is in a flaming trance.
Hey, I've heard it can be dangerous.
Pinch her, Elsie.
What have you put a light on for? It's broad daylight out here.
Oh. What happened? Anything?
I think we got told off. I think we just had us leg pulled, didn't we, Hilda?
What happened to me table?
Do you really not know?
Oh, no, my arm hurts. Yeah, well, I had to pinch you to bring you round, like. Thanks so very much.
Table went down with a right crash.
It jerked right up first.
Well, I wouldn't swear it jerked right up. Somebody kicked the table leg, that's what happened. Well, I didn't, and I just hope it was one of you lot.
Oh, I feel all drained. Did you get any message from the other side? Well, I got a message, I think. What? Well, in fact, I think we all got a message. Either it's a load of hooey, or it's something that you don't mess around with.
Well, I felt something spooky. Felt it in the atmosphere.
You feel something spooky now, louder. Well, it's definitely time for a cup of tea. Definitely.
Hey, come on, Hilda. Tell us. You did know what was going on all the time, didn't you?
Look, if I'd known you was pinching me like that, I'd have give you a belt.
Yeah, I reckon you would. Still, I'm not convinced.
Where's your young man, then?
I do wish you wouldn't keep calling him my young man. It's just Derek. You can call him Derek.
I've lost my sense of smell, you know. What kind of soup is it?
Celery.
I thought for a minute it was mushrooms. I can't abide mushrooms.
Well, it isn't. It's celery.
Not in any shape or form. Mushrooms. I've only to think of a mushroom and I'm bilious.
Well, then don't think of it. Just drink your soup.
Where did you say your young man was?
Well, I don't know. He's got his own life to lead. Don't keep tabs on him every minute.
You don't want to be so casual in your relationships with men, you know.
But it's not casual. It's just that sometimes I see him and sometimes I don't.
He's not already married, is he?
Of course he's not married.
I've heard all about these. Sometimes I see him and sometimes I don't arrangements. And more often than not, he's married.
Well, Derek isn't.
Oh, not for your sake have you been going weekends with him.
Who's been telling you that?
Now, I'm only speaking for your own good.
It's Ethel, isn't it?
She never said anything ill about you.
Oh, no. You can tell that. She's my best friend, is Ethel.
Well, what would your mother say, going away with a man?
Look, Auntie Edie, I don't have to put up with this. Not from you, not from Ethel, not from anybody. Anyway, it's not true.
You mean you've not been away with
I
him?
won't be questioned, Auntie Edie.
Well, all I can say
Look,
is...
you're letting his soup go
if he'd
cold.
any respect for you, he wouldn't want you to go away with him. And not until you were man and wife.
Has it ever struck you that I might not want to be married to him? He's a friend. I can have friends.
Then he's one of your friends that I never want to see in this house again.
You can't mean that. Derek's been very good running me round errands for you.
Oh, yes, he's very nice. That's how they are, these men. That's how they take advantage. You very little experience, Mavis. And it's you I'm thinking of. And something tells me he's married.
Oh, what's the use?
Well, I think it's something you're very foolish to go dabbling in.
Well, I don't think Hilda's up to it that much as a medium.
Does that make it any different? You'll be conjuring up all night, and then where will you be?
No, we've not been at the Dennis Sweetleys or anything. It's not black magic are out.
Well, you don't know what you're messing with.
Hey, it was funny, though. Hilda really did go into a trance. Or at least I think she did.
Well, maybe she thinks she did, and all. 60p, lovey.
Do you know when that table collapsed, little Gail nearly hit the ceiling?
Oh, I say.
Hope it frightened the life out of her.
Oh, it has, definitely.
You know, if you want to go in for this sort of business, you want to go to a proper spiritualist church.
Yeah.
Hilda Ogden.
She were very good with tea leaves after.
Oh. Well, that's not the same thing.
Well, she told Elsie she's going to be a divorcee again.
Well, that's an earth-shattering prediction. An earth-shattering prediction.
Oh, dear. She's a good one.
Yeah.
She was taking a right swing at Annie Walker this morning. On your behalf, that one.
Yeah.
Giving her what for, I'll tell you.
Ah. What was she saying?
That she ought to come grovelling down here to you. That's what she said.
Well, she didn't exactly do that. She did give the idea that she was apologising because I've been stupid, if you see what I mean.
I know the way she does it, don't I? You can get on the phone, says Ina, and tell your friends and all.
Tell them what? Tell her friends what?
That she's been a complete fool, I suppose.
Just a minute. If she's telling her friends about me, I want to know. I mean, if she's saying bad things about me, I'm not going to let it rest at that.
Well, I don't know what she said, kid.
Well, who was she talking to?
Sounded like it was Nellie Harvey.
Oh, she said anything to my disadvantage.
Well, you can find out, can't you?
How?
Pick the phone up. She's looking for a barmaid.
Oh.
Apply for it. Now, when she hears your experience, she's got to be interested. See if she's still interested when she hears your name.
I might just do that.
Auntie Edie, I just felt I should tell you that I've invited Derek to come round this evening and watch television. Now, you may feel that you must ask him to leave, and of course you're quite entitled to do so, but if you insist, I'm sure he'll leave at once, and so will I. Now, if you think that Cousin Ethel's going to come round and look after you, then you're very much mistaken, because she won't. And you know what that'll mean. But if I can't live here and live my own life at the same time, then obviously I've got to go. And you'll have to go into a home. So, it's up to you. Now, is there anything you want?
Give me my inhaler.